All right, so there was a new zombie movie that came out called Die Alone, and it stars Carrie Anne Moss and Frank Grillo. And typically, when we get names that are recognizable in low budget horror, you either get like small cameos from them and then they put them on the poster and you're like super pissed off about it, or you get them as like secondary characters that have like some bit of an impact in the movie, but you know, they're there enough to justify their names. But with Carrie Ann Moss as being the first name and then like a and Frank Grillo, I think that's totally accurate. Carrie Ann Moss 100% is like the main character alongside of her counterpart, Douglas Smith, who plays his character Ethan. And then Frank Grillo maybe has like 10 minutes of screen time, but Carrie Ann Moss is like 100% like, you know, a main character in the movie. So that was cool. And with zombie movies, I know a lot of people have like zombie fatigue. After Walking Dead came out, we really amped up the zombie films. 28 Days Later, then followed by like Walking Dead, and then it was just like a slew of zombie movies, and people got really sick of them. But there was like a period there where we were getting all of these super unique, interesting zombie movies, and we probably had like a few year period where you were getting like Cargo, the Sands, It Stains the Sands Red, The Cured, The Girl with All the Gifts. Like there was like a whole mess of these super interesting zombie movies that completely deconstructed the subgenre and made them interesting, made them unique, made them feel different. Ravenous, that French one. I mean, I can go down the list of all of these really cool zombie movies that were coming out. And then they kind of just stopped and we didn't get them as much anymore. And I was bummed because I was really liking someone doing something like that. And then finally, here we go again. We have a brand new 2024 zombie film that feels like it would have came out with that slew of films that I just said. This feels like it would fit right in with that era, that like maybe 5-year period where we were getting a lot of these really cool, unique, inventive, interesting zombie movies that were trying different things, having these new elements, whatever. And I was really into this one. I really enjoyed the hell out of this one. Now, it is low budget, and I think that people who, like, I don't know, I could see people going into this and you know, not liking. I'm trying to be very vague with certain things because I definitely want this to be experienced, but there's an element to the zombies that I thought was so cool. I thought the zombies in this were badass. Now, we don't get a ton of them. It's a very like refined film. It's a smaller budgeted film, and we don't have like zombie hordes or anything. We maybe see 10, 15 zombies in the whole film. But they have such a unique aspect and look to them. They're nothing like a Walking Dead zombie, right? This actually reminds me a little bit more of it. It's in line with something which is, you know, my favorite zombie thing, and my favorite thing ever pretty much is The Last of Us. I would compare the zombies in this to something more like The Last of Us. Not on that level because they have more money and they have more of a creative team to be able to put them together. But man, with whatever budget they had, I thought they did a phenomenal job, and I thought they were super unique. And I was not expecting the story to go into the places that it did. I was actually genuinely surprised, and there was some things that happened that I was genuinely like, holy shit, that's awesome, right? Like, I thought that was so cool. So I was a big fan of this one in the end. This is a total hidden gem zombie film of 2024, and I really, really hope anyone who's into the films that I had mentioned, anyone who's into like lower budgeted, unique horror films. I thought Carrie Ann Moss was excellent in this. I thought that Frank Grillo, what little time he had, was very good. Our main character is a little flat. Now, this is going to probably get compared to another Carrie Ann Moss movie. Because essentially, as far as a plot synopsis goes, if you don't want to know anything going in, just shut it off here. I'll give a very minor one because I don't want to say much. I won't even say anything about the zombies. You get to find that out for yourself when you watch it. I think they're super, super fucking cool. But essentially, this guy is looking for his girlfriend, and he has amnesia. And he meets Carrie Ann Moss's character, and she's trying to help him find his girlfriend while also taking care of him as he's trying to like remember what happened to him. Of course, that's going to be linked to Memento, which he was also in, with a guy with like a form of amnesia. So yeah, I really enjoyed the fuck out of this. I really bought into the story. I really liked the landscape. I really liked the world building. I love this. I'm outright on it. Like I think I gave it like a 4.5 on Letterboxd. So this is like a big one of the year for me, because these types of movies that come out of nowhere, they have no marketing behind them. They have, I have no expectations of them at all. I throw them on randomly. I honestly, when I saw this poster, these are the types of movies. Although with Frank Grillo, especially Carrie Anne Moss, I was like, okay, Carrie Anne Moss isn't like Tony Todd. He's not Robert Englund. He's not Kane Hodder. He's not these kinds, or she is not these kinds of people, right? Like, she's probably going to take something that has a little bit more to it with her pedigree. So to me, I was like, okay, Carrie Anne Moss is like top build here. It's probably got something to it. But I went into this thinking it was just going to be forgettable. This is not forgettable. This will be one of those movies that I mention alongside of all the other titles of the unique zombie movies that I've seen over the years that I thought was great. So I do think that like maybe half of the people who take my recommendation on this might be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I thought this was stupid, whatever. But I have to be honest, and I have to, I'm trying to tell you guys to the best of my abilities who the audience is for this. And hopefully, if any of those titles and any of those concepts, I know I was vague on them, but I'm purposely vague. I think this could be a cool hidden gem of the year that people really overlooked. So anyway, yeah, that's that. Die Alone. Really cool movie. God, I really loved everything about it, honestly. Like as I said, the main guy is a little flat. So if he was better... But I understand why he is the way that he is. I just think if he was a little more charismatic, he's just flat. He is a little flat. And he is the main character of the movie. So that brings it down a notch for me. That's why it's not like a 5. I mean, it wouldn't be a 5. I guess maybe it would be a 4. Maybe I should make it a 4. I don't know. We'll see. But if his character was a little bit better, I don't dislike him. I just thought that he could have been better. But everything else I was all in love with. I loved how it started. I loved the journey, and I loved the ending. And I loved how everything tied together and resolved itself and called back to everything. I thought it was all great. So anyway, really cool film. And I'm going to try to look really quick before I'm done here. Welcome to Sinister Cinema, where we don't have editing or... I'm not trying to waste your time. The director is... Lowell Dean, and he directed another Wolf Cop and Wolf Cop. Oh, this is the director of Wolf Cop and another Wolf Cop, as well as a movie called 13 Erie. So he has directed other things that are pretty memorable. I saw the first Wolf Cop, and I have not seen the second. Now that I've watched this, I'm actually totally interested to go back and watch the first and finally check out the second. So yeah, hell yeah. So if you liked those, this is not comedy. This is a very serious movie. Those are comedies, but I thought he killed it with this. And I'll look forward to Deadlands, his next picture, which I guess is in production currently. All right, let me know. I'll see you in the comments. Adios.